start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. All content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
I can't tell you how I know. Do with this information what you will. There's going to be a Nintendo Direct next month. It's going to tease a card, Animal Crossing, coming out in 2026.
Is there though? Really? Now, for all of you guys who do not know, we have Woods from BeatEmUps, who is like the poster boy when it comes to Nintendo. If you had to pick the perfect Nintendo YouTuber to represent Nintendo, this is who you would pick. This is who all the fanboys look up to. I am not kidding you. But he pulled a fast one on all the fanboys. He got them all without even realizing it, because he decided to supposedly, if you believe him, lie about a direct. He faked a whole direct, but turns out there actually was a direct in July, so little bit suspicious on that part when it comes down to it, Woods. But do we actually believe him that he actually did this as a so-called social experiment? Let's get into this reaction.
This Nintendo Direct leak took over the internet. It was shared across Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, all over the gaming news world. But here's the problem. I made it up.
Well, what do you expect, Woods? Look at the size of your channel. And at the time that you sat here and dropped all that information, all the Nintendo people were so fed up, probably including you, of all the negativity surrounding Nintendo. You know, all of you guys, whether you want to admit it or not, were very disappointed with Mario Kart World. It was not the game that was promised. It was overhyped by the Nintendo creators, I might add. You guys overhyped it. It didn't deliver, so you needed something to get you guys excited. Even though DK was around the corner, you needed something at that moment. And then you dropped and faked the whole direct, but turns out there was an actual direct in the month of July. So I personally think you were given some type of insider information that there was going to be a direct, and either they gave you a bunch of wrong information or you decided to lie. Now, I think that you decided to lie when it came to the direct about what was going to be there, because I think you were trying to get more views. Also, I think you were so tired of all that negativity that you wanted to shift Nintendo from being a negative thing to a positive thing, and that's why I think you did it. I don't believe you for a second that you did this as a social experiment, and I will show you later in the video why.
I made it up.
Popular YouTuber BeatEmUps on his podcast, where he said this last month.
There's going to be a Nintendo Direct next month.
BeatEmUps believes a direct will be in July.
Known for his channel BeatEmUps and also host of the Nintendo podcast,
said that he had an unidentified source that says there will be a Nintendo Direct.
Woods is not usually a leaker, so this is spicy.
Big Nintendo Direct in July.
And he's not typically a person to like put out leaks and rumors.
He got everybody. I cannot believe that all of you guys ran with it and didn't even verify it. Now, I will admit, I thought there was a possibility, but whenever it comes to leaks, rumors, whatever it is, I take everything with a grain of salt, so I don't get really disappointed when it comes down to it. But I actually did somewhat believe Woods when it came down to it. I thought with someone the size of his channel, why would he lie? I still don't believe you when it comes to the whole social experiment. That just makes absolutely no sense, because later on you're like, oh, this isn't any of the people's fault that went and pushed it, but then you want to sit here and stop the whole spread of leaks when it comes down to it. Well, it's your brethren that are spreading all these leaks, like Nintendo Prime, like Player Essence, like all those type of news channels, the ones that you're exposing right now.
Wood said that he had a source.
Hopefully BeatEmUps is completely telling us good info.
A very well trusted YouTuber, Wood from BeatEmUps,
where a YouTuber came out and said
a new game in the popular Animal Crossing franchise.
A YouTuber said that there's a potential leak for new Animal Crossing.
He doesn't do this, so why is he doing it now? Well, he must be
fairly confident.
Oh boy, he got Switch Force and Primey. And by the way, Primey, I am your Salt Daddy for now and forever. Everybody knows this.
I hate gaming leaks. They ruin surprises, they spoil moments that we love, and I've always been curious, how do fake leaks get so much traction?
I mean, it's not a really hard concept to figure out. People get excited over video games. People love video games. So when there's something new in the horizon, especially when it's a very beloved game that they love, when a leak hits, then there you go. And the thing is, you want to stop leaks and rumors, you do understand that you're gonna have to hold your community accountable. Who do you think were the people that made that leak go viral? It was your community that started it, that got the attention of the big news people on the internet, like Game Rant. I believe Game Rant was one of them, that sat here and kept pushing it out. So it was your community that started the whole thing.
Like, how does something so clearly fake go viral? We live in a culture of constant Nintendo Direct rumors, manufactured excitement, and clickbait YouTube titles. Hey, so I had a thought.
I wouldn't say, come on here, Woods, I wouldn't say that it was clearly a fake. You can't sit, in hindsight now we look back on it, yes, of course. But when you sit here, I watched when your podcast, when you sat here and did all that, I thought you honestly did have some insider information. Now, I know that stuff changes. You know, they could line something up and then halfway through it, like, oh, we're going to take this out and add something new. So we all know stuff like that happens. But it's not like any of us were actually going to think that you were lying to do a so-called social experiment. And
what if I leaked huge gaming news? If I followed the spread of that leak, attract its momentum, and then the ripple effects, could I conduct an experiment to find a way to stop fake leaks once and for all? But
okay, first off, if you actually believe that you could stop fake leaks, there's no way to do it. You're not that special. No offense, Woods. I actually do enjoy your content. And even with this, I find this very entertaining. You have to understand, you literally helped us out, like in the Salt community. Do you know how many times we have heard, or I have heard, from like Nintendo Prime and Player S, it's like, oh, you need to do better research. You need to sit here and quit doing this stuff because you're not educated enough. And then they ran with a fake leak and their actual news channels. And it wasn't just them. Switchforce did it and many other people did it also. And they're supposed to be news channels, and they did, or they broke the one rule, or the most important rule when it comes to news stuff. You always fact check your sources, and none of them did it. So you literally gave me so much ammunition against these guys. It ain't even funny. I really do thank you, Woods.
There was one problem. I am not an industry insider. I don't have any leaks. I am just a YouTuber.
Woods, if you think that you're just, no, I'm just a YouTuber, okay? But if you think you're just a YouTuber, I got a beachfront property to sell you in Antarctica. You are not just a YouTuber. You are one of the top YouTubers. At the level you are, most of us could only dream to even get close to something like that. So if you come out and say something, many people are going to believe you. If it would have been me and I would have said word for word what you said, it would have never went viral. I don't even think another YouTuber would have picked it up. But at the level that you're at, of course, so you sit here saying like, oh, well, I'm not an insider. We all know that you got some type of insider. We all know that you know people. You can't be at the level that you're at and not know people. Come on here.
Sorry about that. I actually am very, very sorry about that. I didn't really think of this through at all. I'll be completely honest. I'll go off script and let you know right now that I regret doing this whole thing. I am proud of how this video has turned out.
I'm sorry too, Woods, but You can't sit there and say that you regret doing the whole thing, but then you're proud of this video. That's not exactly how that works, but it's okay. I'm going to sit here and tell you what all your brethren like to tell us that do this type of content. You know, I've been told by Nintendo Prime, Player Essence, and I've been told by other YouTubers, hey, you know what, do your thing, do what you got to do, go get the bag. Don't worry, Woods, go secure that bag already.
And what I learned, but I kind of wish I didn't do it because I did not expect the reaction that I got, and I feel incredibly guilty, and I am very sorry. But I did it, so let's talk about it.
I mean, it just the way he said it, it's just hard to believe that he actually feels bad. You know, maybe he does, and this is just a way for him to cope with it. But come on, Woods, how did you not know? How many... I keep telling you guys this. You guys all have influence. How did you not know that you were going to have influence? Come on here.
But I can't tell you how I know. Do with this information what you will. I worded what I said on the podcast very carefully. I didn't say where my information came from. I didn't even say how I knew. I said quite literally, I can't tell you how I know. And I said that on purpose.
Okay, but that's not helping your cause. This is not proving your point. Like, I keep hearing the name Nate the Hate is like the big leaker. He doesn't name his sources. He don't say where he gets it from. If you actually did have a source, they told you, and you went off and blabbed who it was, nobody would trust you. Nobody would give you ever any information. So you saying that you did it, you worded it a certain way, try to word it carefully to give us hints, no one's gonna pick up on that. Come on, man.
For two reasons. One, I wanted people's imaginations to run wild. I wanted to know how the media would interpret that if it did go viral. And two, I was lying.
Oh yeah, for all you guys who don't know, Switchforce made a video. Usually Switchforce is very positive, but in this video he was far from it. He blasted Woods so bad. Honestly, I actually give Switchforce some props. I never thought that day would come, but I actually give him a little bit of respect for that one. But that's going to come over soon.
I don't know how much of that is true. That's everything I heard. And I never get information. And I know what some people are going to say. Some people are going to say, oh, sure, now it's some big social experiment. Now you're trying to help stop leaks.
Yes, a lot of people are going to think that. To be honest, Woods, I don't think that you're going to try to stop leaks. This is what I think happened. I think you were given some information, you ran with it, and then you sat here, added some stuff because you wanted to take the negativity off of Nintendo, and you were also hoping to get a boost in viewership. That's what I think happened. I could be wrong, but for some reason, I just have a very hard time believing that you decided to do a social experiment.
Something saying like, oh, this is my intention, you know, so that now when making this video, I could show that clip to prove that that actually was what I was planning on doing the whole time. But, you know, too bad I didn't do it. I just did an episode of my podcast, and on that
Woods, that doesn't really prove anything. You literally could have redressed it up, had the other guy dressed in the exact same way, and then just redid this. This does not help your case whatsoever.
I told everybody that I knew about a Nintendo Direct that's coming next month in July. I was lying.
You were lying?
I was lying, yeah. I just wanted to see if I gave a bunch of crazy leaks, like I had information and I buried it within a podcast, if anybody online would pick it up.
You know, watching this, it literally feels rehearsed. The way his buddy sat there was like, it just felt rehearsed. It didn't feel natural because, you know, you have a friend, you got him excited during that thing, and then you were like, oh, well, I actually lied. And then the look on his face, how excited he was, that's just not a facial expression I think somebody would give.
I think we're gonna get it.
If I can data mine any of the info to stop leaks in the future, I'm going to then release this so you know that I didn't know and that I was just making it up. I'm sorry for the lie itself.
Yeah, this could prove that you lied, but when it comes down to it, you doing a social experiment? No. I think, like I keep saying, I think you lied so you could take the negativity off of Nintendo, give a bunch of people something to hope for, and then it went viral a lot more than what you thought it was going to go viral. And maybe you actually were that naive and you never thought it was going to go viral. But once it went viral, that's when I think you decide, like, oh crap, I gotta find a cover up for this. Because when it comes down to it, what sounds worse, okay? Lying to get views and to take the negativity off of Nintendo, or to do a social experiment so we can stop leaks? And look what's happening now. A bunch of the Nintendo YouTubers are either not speaking out about it, or they're sugarcoating everything. The only two that I have seen that has not sugarcoated anything was Switchforce and Nintendo Prime's lunatic fangirl, Joycey J. Those are the only two people I've seen not sugarcoated.
I really am. Specifically to the people that listen to my podcast, who I feel the most guilt for.
You know, I will take a little back. I think you might feel a little bad. I still think that you did it, not for the reasons why you're saying right now. I think you decided to change it into that to kind of cover yourself up, but maybe you do feel a little bad.
But if you'll stick with me, I actually did learn a lot about how leaks spread, why people believe leaks, and more importantly, I actually think I've come up with some answers on how we can stop the spread of leaks, specifically fake leaks.
The only way that you could stop leaks is people have to stop leaking stuff. That is the only way to actually prevent leaks. So if you think you actually found some solutions to stopping leaks, you are more naive than I thought you were.
And misinformation moving forward. Because if you can believe it, this silly little experiment worked.
Okay, so you said you did this so-called social experiment, and yes, I'm doing air quotes right now. I know you can't see it, but you did a so-called social experiment to stop the spread of leaks, fake leaks, rumor. Yeah, you are more naive than I ever thought you could be.
This all started the very next day after the podcast. I got the first message from my friend RGT85, who messaged me to say, go on. He said, go on.
So you remember when I sat here and said that, oh, you know, I don't actually believe him, and I'll show you later in the video. This is where it's going to get to.
July Direct. But I don't want to give away the game. So I said, how'd you hear about that? Your podcast is making the rounds. Is your source legit or what? That's fine. What do you mean making the rounds? It was this Reddit thread on gaming leaks and rumors.
That is where that I think that he was lying. I do not think for a second, like I've said many times, he did not do this as a social experiment starting off. I think this is the moment he decided to turn it into a social experiment. Because why would you be asking someone, oh, what is everybody saying? If you claimed that you sat here, were going to spread a fake leak and see where it went, you were going to document it. So why would you be asking him? You should already be knowing. You should have seen all this already. This is why I don't actually believe him. I know some people are going to try to make excuses for him or whatever. But at this moment, when he started realizing how viral this was going, I think this is when he decided to turn it into a social experiment. But in no way will I ever believe that he did this as a social experiment to begin with. But hey, Woods, if you're watching this, I ain't mad at you. I'm going to give you the same advice all your brethren tell me. Hey, do what you got to do. Get those views. Go secure that bag. Go make that money. You know, they say a lot more stuff than that, but I'm just going to give you a condensed version. You go, man.
Popular Nintendo YouTuber BeatEmUps. And the list of what I leaked. Oh boy, I feel my heart racing looking at this. To start with, I want to say I'm sorry to everybody that had to read this. It just consumed their time for no reason. I really am sorry. I'm doing it for a good reason, I thought.
Yeah, I don't think you were doing it for a good reason. I still stand by what I say. I think you did it to take the negativity off Nintendo and to also give you a boost in viewership. That's what I think your end goal actually was. Then once it went viral, I think you came up with an idea to try to make it look not as bad as what it was.
I like that this one used insider claims. During the episode, Wood claimed he had an insider knowledge. Oh, did I? Yeah, did I say insider knowledge? I don't know if I said insider knowledge. I did not. This is what I said. I can't tell you how I know. So did this...
Yes, but anybody with an IQ above room temperature is going to think when you sit here and say, I can't tell you how I know, why would we think you would give up your insider, your source? Okay, whenever that Nate the Hate guy sits here and leaks something, no one is running after him saying, hey, who is your source? Who is your insider? No one is asking that, so why would they think to question what you're saying?
First, when I started this experiment, I was worried. I thought, oh, I've tainted this. How did I not realize that of course my leak was going to go viral because it's me. This isn't some random anonymous person leaking something on 4chan somewhere. This is Wood from BeatEmUps leaking it on his podcast. Of course people are gonna believe me. I'm the Nintendo guy.
No, you ain't a Nintendo guy. You are the Nintendo guy, BeatEmUps. Well, this is going to be it. I will sit here and link it down below. You can go watch the full video. This video is so long, it will take me about an hour and a half to fully react to this video, and I'm not going to do it. So let's read off the members of the channel. We got Koros Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Madfox 94, Shade Milkman, Oh No It's Justin, Brian Payne, Andy Ritz, J Wesby 65, C Stars Piplup, Cam, Astrius Lane, Maximus 2400. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew. And if you truly enjoy this content, why don't you think about becoming a member? It's only $1 a month. You get special emotes, badges, and you get a shout out at the end of each video until it becomes too long, and then it'll be turned into a credit roll. And also, I got an awesome merch lined up for you guys. I got amazing shirts, hoodies, I got coffee mugs, I got desk mats, I got a bunch of different kinds, so why don't you check it out also. And please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hot and salty.